Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'll be painting a clear water pond with koi fish. So for this artwork, I'm using the Canson XL watercolor paper, and I'm just starting out with a sketch of the koi fish. I'm making it very detailed as I didn't want to mess it up. So I started with an oval, then I sort of drew a line in the direction of which the fish are swimming to. So once I've gotten the main shape of the fish down, I drew in the details, so that includes the fins, tails, the eyes, and all that stuff. I also added a few lily pads to take up space. So at the bottom of the pond are rocks, and I started with big rocks, then added in smaller rocks to fill up spaces. And right now I'm using masking fluid to mask off the edges of the lily pad and the koi fish, so then I don't get the color of the rocks on them by accident. So for the color of the rocks, I just used a simple Payne's grey. I tried to add shading and highlights and tried to make it dark at the bottom and light at the top, but eventually it just turned into sort of a one-tone rock pool. So I started at the bottom and painted towards the top, trying to avoid the lily pad and the fish as much as possible. And even though the masking fluid was there on the edges, I did end up getting a bit of Payne's grey in the koi fish at the bottom. So yeah, I just played around with the watercolor as much as possible and trying to make it look flat. And I think that using this dark Payne's grey, it made the fish come out a lot more. So with the top two rocks here, I started with the one on the left and then I went to the one on the right using the wet on wet technique, and as you can see, the one on the left bled into the one on the right, and I just left it, and in the end it just didn't look like a bleed happened and just looked separate. So now that the rocks are done, I peeled off the masking fluid. I tried to keep the masking fluid in one piece, but ultimately it just broke up. In my experience of using masking fluid, especially the Winsor Newton masking fluid, is that it works best when it's applied in a larger area opposed to a small area. I found that when it's put in smaller areas, it just rips up the paper. Once all the masking fluid was gone, I went on with the lily pads. I used sap green for the base of the bottom lily pad and added viridian green just over it, and try not to make it too saturated. For the second lily pad, I did the same thing, but just used viridian green first, then went over with sap green. For the koi fish, I went with the traditional white and red, and the red I'm using is cadmium deep hue, and I find this red very vibrant and makes the fish stand out. Also with the lily pads I went in Viridian Green again just to add in the veins. The last thing I did for this artwork was that I fine lined in the fish. So basically I kept the eyes very simple, 2 ovals, and then I just went over those little hump thingies with an 0.3 fine liner, then around the whole entire fish with the 0.5 fine liner. I did avoid the flat edges of the fins at the bottom. I didn't want that to be outlined because I felt that would make it more transparent, I guess, like not as opaque and more transparent. Once the whole fish was outlined, I went in with an 0.1 fine liner to the fins and added some quick strokes to suggest the veins, or like those little line thingies on the fins. I did forget to add the little whisker thingies at the front of the fish, but looking back at it now, I don't think it would make a difference because the Payne's grey is quite dark and using a black fine liner wouldn't really show it. I also forgot that I was meant to add in the back fin slash the fin in the middle of the fish, so I just quickly added that in, and I didn't really try to avoid the red marks on the fish, but I think it looks nice this way. I also went over outlined the red marks, avoiding the fin on the back with a gold Uniball Signo pen. I think this just makes it look a bit nicer. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Check out my last video over there. Check out my last art with me right over there. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you want to. Comment down below what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.